Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another Tango Movement Lab. This is Chris Assis, founder and teacher at Bautanz, Constructing Dance. And today we will continue our explorations that we had started last class. And I have part of Skelly right here. We're not going to get into anatomy details right at the beginning. We are actually going to spend quite some time moving and dancing. And so let's get right to it. We're going to do a song just enjoying the movement, the music, sorry. Basically, no set steps or some specific choreography. Keep it simple and give yourself this time to come to the practice, basically. So, from whatever you were doing before, just bringing your body and mind to this online space so we can then get officially started. So, if you don't like my song, absolutely, you can just mute me and pick a song that you like. And let's see, what do we have here? Okay, let's do this one. Pause. All right. So I think I need to move you down a little bit, maybe like this. Okay. All right. So the next one I would like us to do, I would like to invite you to Take any shoes off if you are wearing any shoes. Let me just find the next song here. 1 second. Okay. So take off any shoes and preferably socks as well because they can get slippery and make it difficult for you to explore what we're trying to explore. And I want us to. My apologies. Shoes are off. I want us to do a song where we focus on our feet. So that's why I wanted us to have no shoes on. This way you'll really experience your feet on the floor. And we'll get back to it. I'm not going to give you too much detail. Just want to check that you can still see me in the cameras. So basically, go slower. Spend as much time as you need to feel all the different parts of your foot on how it interacts with the floor. So I'm not going to tell you do it this way, do it that way. I just want you to understand what is your default pattern and what does that mean for the different parts of your feet. So slight adjustment here. Apologies because I don't think you can see my feet. There we go. And I'm going to hit play. I think this is a good one. Yeah.
Well, I drove late, darn to the edge of the lake. Where your hometown shines far on the other side. I trace my finger the streets we used to terrorize. Drinking in the park, holding hands in the dark. So love glows like the moon, swinging low above the Atlantic, sparkles on the choppy days. I don't care what they say, I have to dance along the well.
We used to be friends, how we used to be lovers. Now we live so far away from each other. We sold your guitar, cut your hair, and moved off to the sea. I threw out the shell, stole from your windowsill.
So love blows like the moon, swinging low above the Atlantic, felt for a hologram. I don't give a damn, I have to dance along the well.
Let's hit pause for a moment. Okay, there we go. Maybe we'll do that afterwards. All right. So, what I wanted us to start with today is this concept of space. And this is easier like this. There we go. Okay, so this is Skelly's foot. There we go. The right one. So when we think about the word space and what it means, it can mean a lot of things. That is true. But basically, it is, if we look at it from how we understand it in our everyday lives, it is basically a boundary, right? A 3D boundary. It has height and width and depth, and within it, things move and change. So if we think of our body, and specifically our feet, because that's where we started from, as space, it might allow us to explore and understand this 3D quality that we have, because we are 3D. So this is what is interior to our feet, right? We have a lot of little teeny tiny bones, a lot of connections, and this is a good representation of how our feet are, or the bones of our feet. Many different connections. We go from multiple connections to basically just 4 and then just 1. And if I turn this foot to the side, you'll see we have an arch, and different people will have a different kind of shape. But when we turn our foot to the other side, we also have a little arch here, but it's a little flatter. It is a little flatter. Is not as obvious as this side, right? So we see that there is, just by looking at this representation of a human foot, we see that there is a difference in terms of height, width, and depth, from going from toes to heel. Very different, like this volume compared to this. Also very different in terms of volume and overall shape when we go from the inside to the outside. Right? Inside versus outside. Very different. And if we go from top to bottom, so quite interesting. Anyways, so why I'm showing you this? The reason I'm showing you this is because I would like us to spend the next song, again, with focusing on our feet, and I want you to really think of your feet as space. So basically, feel this height, width, and depth that we were just talking about, we just looked at, and see what that brings up as you're moving. So I suggest you go slower, focus more on the different steps you can take in different directions. Some of them can be quite interesting in different ways, and all your focus should be on my feet as space. So really, really focus on what is this 3D space that I have and I'm standing on. And let's see what that brings up. Okay. This might be a little bit fast.
used to hide out for days, holding every note until it breaks. Time, it makes a clean heart when you're miles away from it all, and the dream is gone. It's all dust, kicked up lost, finding an end inside. Pulled down the street, held from beneath, until the body knows. Makes a clean heart miles away from rolling on the surface. I drag my life like a chain, torn to the cradle. Time it takes to find it, a life's left on, it's good and strong. It's all dust, kicked up lost, finding an end inside. Down the street, made to believe into somebody else. Makes a cool heart miles away from home.
Okay. All right. So I know it's a bit conceptual as a concept, as a cue, but it is a very common mistake, and I hope you will be able to see my feet, or I'll have to move you. Okay. Yeah, I think. So when and you can try this, or you can try this with me. So when you are consciously pushing the floor away, which is very common as a cue, like push the floor away, rise, right? Move away from the floor, push. Notice what happens to your connection with your feet, which is what actually means, which is the way that you connect to the ground. You are disconnected. You're working away from them. They're actually also working really hard, so that creates unnecessary tension. Now, if you were to say, you know what, I don't need to push anything away, I can gradually let this let this go. Okay, all right. So first of all, you've probably noticed your breathing changing, and now I want you to take your mind back to this dance that we just did, and reconnect with this notion of, or bring it back to focus. Your feet are 3D. They have height, and they have width, and they have depth. So feel your feet in all these dimensions, just as we're standing, and notice how different this is. Notice that all of a sudden your feet are much more aware of where you're standing. You're much more aware of where you're standing, um, and this is easier and a lot safer. So you're not struggling to stay just to keep standing. So I want us to just go from side to side, and as you're going from side to side, don't leave this feeling. The shape of your feet will change, but you don't want to collapse the space. So if we're here, let me find my spot. There we go. Right, and you started noticing this 3D entity, the two 3D entities that we have as feet. I want you to go from side to side, but maintaining that. What would not maintaining that look like? Either really completely being inconsiderate of their space and work and pressing on them, or completely letting go and ignoring and collapsing. So these are two extremes. One extreme is like being extremely active, and the other extreme being completely loose, letting go, collapsing. In both cases, you can lose this quality, this 3D quality that our feet have. So try to, as you're shifting from side to side, and as the shape of your feet necessarily changes because the weight changes, I want you to maintain this awareness of your feet being 3D. So not collapsing or making them work, tensing them up, or making them work extra hard. So you'll notice that some patterns that you might have for the rest of the body do not want to adapt. They're like, this is something is strange. See if you can maybe use this as a comforting thought for you. It's just a test. You don't have to do this forever. It's just a test. Can you please follow along? This refers to your body. Just let go of what you know. What we know is fine, is great, not a problem. But let's try this for now. That's usually how I manage to persuade myself. So keep going from side to side and just maintaining this focus on your feet being 3D objects. 3D. And notice how different this is. Allow the changes in the rest of your body to happen. So, and as you're moving from side to side, you'll start noticing more and more of these changes as the hips are trying to find the right place to be. Because if you start creating tension in the pelvis, the feet will react as well. It's inevitable. One thing is connected to the other. So this is where this relaxation comes from, and we want to take advantage of it. So focus on the feet. Let everything else move along as they please. So going from side to side, maintaining this focus that our feet are 3D. We don't want to lose connection with that. We don't want to collapse that 3D element. And now, as we're going, keep going from side to side, but what I want you to change is, you're going from side to side, but I want you to give yourself a little bit of extra push and lift this foot, just a little tiny bit off the floor. And notice when you take your weight off it, that you have a different understanding of that 3D shape. So you go down, your body, your mind is mapping that shape. Go up and let it hang for a bit. Oh, yeah. Suddenly this thought, oh yes, that's my feet. So here we go. That's the nervous system for you. Mapping. Ah, all right. So just holding here for like 30 seconds max, maybe less, 10 seconds or something. Just enough to be like, oh yeah. And the looser you can get it, the better. So it's really just hanging. Let's do 2 more. 1 for each side. And now as we are here, and we're going from side to side and lifting, instead of going from side to side and lifting, we're going to go drop our foot forward and feet together. And I'm just going to step back a little bit so I have enough space to come to you. Let's start again. You have your base. Make sure that you have some room for 4 or 5 steps. You have your base. Set the focus on this 3D shape that is our feet. Keep that focus. Go from side to side. Good. When you're ready, you lift 1 foot up. Take a moment. Go to the side. Lift the other foot up. Try to see if you can get it really loose and feel the mapping. And change. And this time, we're going to shift the weight, lift the foot, get it loose, little shakes help, and then drop the foot forward. Maintain this 3D focus. Good, and feet together. And then on 1 foot, get this leg really loose, and then drop it forward. Good. And feet together. Sorry, 1 second. Something's pop up. No, that's okay. Okay. So with the opportunity, you keep going. I'm just going to shift my direction. So if you're here, you lift 1 foot up. And I don't want you to place it down. See, this is the difference. I want you to let it drop. And that pulls your body forward. So if I move a little bit closer to you so you can see me, you know what my feet are doing. I just want you to see the reaction of the upper body. So your foot is here. The free leg is here. I don't want you to just place it down. See, this is the disconnect. Nothing happens in the upper body. I want you to take advantage of this volume that has a lot of weight and let it drop. And see how that takes, inevitably, your body with it. So we're creating a chain, a movement chain. So let's go. Get it loose. Drop. Feet together. Reset if you need to. Bring that focus back to 3D feet. Shift the weight. Make sure that the other leg is loose. And then let it drop and let it take you forward. Can I fit one more maybe? And step. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing going, actually let's go to the side because that's the trickiest one, I find at least. So same idea. We're going from side to side and lifting. And now the side step is a little bit tricky. And why it is because you have to go, if you go straight to the side, you have to go over that part of your foot that has the cane. And there's not that much support for that in that direction. So you have to, while maintaining this idea of a 3D foot, let's see what our options are. And I think our options are slightly opening, or at least that's what I found. So instead of going straight and ending up like this, slightly opening and resetting. So it's more like a shimmy, a foot shimmy. And this is an exaggeration, but it's more like this than like this. So let's look at it at its proper scale. So you don't need to go all the way out here, of course, but see where you can place your feet or how you can place your feet so this 3D shape can be maintained. So let's sit back, find our base, 3D focus, shift the weight, lift one foot, really feel that the sole of the foot and the weight of the leg. Take it to the side. So see, it's very small and adjust. It's just slightly angling off. And I think this swing can sort of come from the body and the leg swings out. So if I could go really slow, it would be, instead of a very cautioned and boxy side step, more of a let's swing our way to the side, sort of. So you have a little bit of an angle, starting from the body, right? Starting from the body, and that wiggles the leg on a slight diagonal. So not parallel to the other foot, but on a slight diagonal. So let's keep working on this. Just let's do 4 on each side. Set yourselves up. Get that focus. Free up one leg. Let's see. See what you need to do. How you can maintain that 3D quality of your feet when you're going to the side. Settle over one foot and release the other one. And now we need, inevitably, this is to the front, but we want to send it to the back. So what happens if you do not involve the body? And we'll look at it in next trainings on what the body does. But if you don't involve the body, things get sticky like this. And you're like, ugh. And now your foot is pushing away from the floor and all of these tense things happen. So I want you, just like we did for the side step, to see, oh, how can I make these two work together? If I send my body, if I start moving my body in order to swing my leg back, and then so. So I want you to play with it because it requires a lot of a whole other hour in order to see it. But focus on maintaining that quality of 3D in your feet, and notice when you're losing that. See if you can, if when you lose it, come back to your base and see how you can, what are the other options of movement that you have in order to maintain that 3D quality of your feet. And the same goes when you go back. So I'm going to be right in front of the camera. So if you go here and you just take the leg back, notice that the standing leg gets very tense because there's no room to pass, so it starts pushing away. The other way to do it is collapsing, right? And the foot sort of wiggles its way around. But again, you lose contact of that 3D notion. Instead, if you start moving your hips and your body like we did last time, if you remember. There. And then when you go back, you don't want to collapse on that foot. You want to use all of these little connections to create this bounce. It's a very bounceful, because of all the connections in the shape, it's a very bounceful 3D item. So make use of that. Let's try again on the other side. Find a pathway for the body. And then when you go back, you start, see, when the first dance I asked you to feel all the different parts of your foot on the ground. And this is where this comes handy, right? So see how the toes try to reach for the floor, and then you go to the metatarsals, and then you start rolling towards the outer edge of your foot because that's where the meat is, and you don't want to collapse the arch, right? And then you do this on this side. Oops, sorry, just hearing something. Yes, okay, that's fantastic. All right, so you're here. You don't want to collapse. So you try to find a pathway over, and then your toes are like, yes, I have a feeling that there is floor here. And they start to reach back, and you're starting to go. You don't want to collapse them here. You want to engage that space that you call foot. Engage that space. The toes are waking up. They're like, I can sense something is coming. Right? Don't collapse, not on the inside, not fully collapsing on the outside. Maintain the integrity of your foot. Be engaged in how this shape can take on your weight. Let's do 2 on each side. Oops. One more. Okay, so we're going to put the music on, and I just want you to spend some time going forward, side, and backwards. Use the exercise we just did. If you're feeling, when you start feeling comfortable, you can let the exercise go, walk around, and then come back to it, because it will take a little bit of time to be consistently working with that focus. So let's see.
Come on, skinny love, just let's sing it. Pour out a song we will never hear. My, 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 my. Staring at the same road across the night. Right in this moment, there's all this talk. And I told you to be patient, and I told you to be fine, and I told you to be balanced, and I told you to be kind. And they go on and I'll be with you, and they will be a different kind. And I'm holding all the tickets, you'll be holding all the fine. Come on, skinny love, what happened? So cold on the hope that I could see. My, 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 my. So no, it's food, so on the street. And I told you to be patient, and I told you to be fine, and I told you to be balanced, and I told you to be kind. And now all your love is wasted, and then who the hell was I?
let's pause for a second. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's go back for a moment. Actually, let's go back for a moment to Skelly. And how did I have it last time? There. Oh, I wasn't sitting like this. I was sitting like this. All right. So uh, notice there. Notice the orientation that that foot has. It's not flat to the. It's not parallel to the floor. It has an orientation that drops more weight towards the outside. So that gives us an idea. Of course, different people will have slightly different feet, and you'll have to assess your own foot in order to be able to see exactly what the shape is. But generally, we have this orientation slightly out towards the floor. It's not parallel. So it creates, and if I flip it this way, I think you'll be able to see it better. It creates this kind of cave. So, like this. There we go. Yeah. So that's what I was trying to explain when I was saying that there is this tensegrity as we like to use in movement practices type of situation. So basically, because of all the different connections, this structure maintains integrity under tension. And I'm using Skelly to give you an idea. This bounciness that I was talking to you about. So, but if you don't use your feet the way that they were supposed to be, and you don't use this model, and if, as most of us do, we have the tendency to be more on the inside, then use all five toes and the whole metatarsal in order to allow for the weight to travel based on the orientation of our foot. We do not make use of this tensegrity model. How did I make this work before? Okay, this. So you see this bounce. They don't collapse under my pressure. And this is exactly how our feet work as well. So they've created this model in order to give you an idea of how human feet work. So there is this bounciness if you are using your feet properly. So I wanted us, being cognizant of the time, to do another dance. Try to feel this bounce that I was showing you before. So try to feel this bounciness that we have when we're using the 3D volumes that we have that we call feet. And notice, try to see if you can capture. If it's too much, forget about it. It's okay. But try to see if you can capture other feedback from the different parts of your body. How are your knees feeling? How are your hips feeling? Where is your upper body going? What is your head doing? Just if they come up as thoughts, grab them and say, oh, okay. And put it in your mind's pocket for later. So here we go.
estrela que cata brilhar, e na mar voe uma areia que cata molhar, espanhol desse mundo fora, só vai chamar, terra povo cheio de amor, tem morna, tem coladeira, terra sal cheio de amor, tem batu, tem funaná. Espanhol desse mundo fora, sou Rotimar, terra povo cheio de amor, tem morna, tem coladeira, terra povo cheio de amor, tem batu, tem funaná. Foi tanto saudade, 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 foi tanto saudade, saudade sem fim. Foi tanto saudade, 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 foi tanto saudade, saudade sem fim. Nasceu uma estrela que canta brilhar, e na mar uma areia que canta molhar, espanhol nesse mundo fora, só rotear, terra povo cheio de amor, tem morna, tem coladeira, terra sal cheio de amor, tem batu, tem funaná. Espanhol nesse mundo fora, só Rotimar, terra povo cheio de amor, tem morna, tem coladeira, terra povo cheio de amor, tem batu, tem funaná. Petit pays, je t'aime beaucoup, petit, petit, je l'aime beaucoup. Petit pays, je t'aime beaucoup. Petit, petit, je l'aime beaucoup.
All right, then. Okay, pause. Okay, so I'm going to give you one clue that will carry us into our next practice. So you'll notice, and then we're just going to do a closing song. So you'll notice that we have now this understanding. We've gotten a taste of how our feet are built to move. If you, and try this with me, if you go here and then you step slightly, like consciously slightly away, what happens? You're more on the inside of your foot. Things start to collapse. It feels uncomfortable. You have to start working. Right? And if you go too tight, then you fall too far on the outside. This might not feel so uncomfortable because we have more cushion there. So it's like, okay, that's not too bad. But then you don't have, it's very tight for the rest of the body to make its way over. And I know that this has made it to dance because it makes us look so slim and elegant. But if you do it with me, you'll notice that it takes away from this 3D version of your feet. You can't use your feet the way they were built to move. You're actually quite trying to move over them, and they're pushing away to allow you to do that. There's a lot of tension. And you'll notice that your toes are getting very close together and tight. So I don't know if you can see it, but I know you'll feel it in your body. So where is this going? This is going to, we need to be able to find where our feet need to be, and this, you'll need to find it in your body. This is your pelvis. You're here. Where do my feet need to be able to support my pelvis? So when I'm gonna move my weight, I'll have the same support that I have here. Not less support by going across. And you see now there is so much weight that needs to be balanced and pulled away, pulled up. Or not less support because I've actually created a void between, right underneath my pelvis. So maybe use this last song to feel that support that comes from your feet and feel where they need to be placed, and that throwing or dropping the foot can help, that we were talking about before, instead of placing, but throwing, dropping the weight of the leg forward and letting that pull you can help. And if you have a mirror, you'll notice that, I'm going to use this, we make sort of like X's. That doesn't work, but it's okay because I have a man too. So we make sort of like, if we make an X, right? So your heel, your feet need to support your X. So you don't want to step away from your X, and you don't want to pass it. You want to support your X. Okay. Either you're going back or when you're going forward. So if your shoulders are wider, if your hips are wider, your X is going to look different than mine. So your step is going to be slightly different, but you would be supporting your X. So be under your X. So this goes off. This was just a hint of what we're going to be working on next month. And we're going to close with a tango song. So if you want to put shoes back on, please feel free. So you can go full on tango. All right. What is this?
dulce encanto tienen mis recuerdos, Merceditas, aromada florecita, amor mío de una vez. La conocí en el campo, allá muy lejos, una tarde donde crecen los tejales, provincia de Santa Fe. Así nació nuestro querer, con ilusión, con mucha fe, pero no sé por qué la flor se marchitó y muriendo fue. Como una queja errante en la campiña va flotando el eco vago de mi canto, recordando aquel amor. Porque a pesar del tiempo transcurrido es Merceditas la leyenda que palpita en mi nostálgica canción, y amándola con loco amor, así llegué a comprender lo que es querer, lo que es sufrir, porque le di mi corazón. Lo que es querer, porque le di mi corazón.
And pause. All right. So, thank you very much for joining me. We did a lot of a lot of feet, a lot of foot focus today. I'll have the recording ready, and I'll put some notes together, and in order to help you more if you're seeing this and following along. Where will you find all this? At Bautanz.com. So if you would like to get more tips and ideas and thoughts and invitations and information on anatomy and how our body was built to move, join us at Bautanz.com. And yeah, till then, and till our next Tango Movement Lab, enjoy your summer and have a lovely time on the dance floors.